नमो नमः। सर्वेषां पुनरेकवारं हार्दं स्वागतम्। छात्राः, बहुदिनेभ्यः अनन्तरं वयं मिलामः। तर्हि यूयं सर्वे कुशलिनः स्वस्थाः च स्त इति अहं मन्ये। Students, in today's class we are going to begin with a new poem, that is Subhashitani. Sanskrit literature abounds in such verses which are witty, interesting, instructive, and delightful. These verses deal with variety of topics. Such poetic verses of Sanskrit which teach us social and moral values and which propound universal truths in simple and lucid way are called Subhashitani. In simple words, Subhashitani are wise sayings or instructions. 10 such wise sayings are collected in the poem Subhashitani, and I hope you will enjoy all the 10 verses. So let's get started with the first verse. Here is the first verse. I'll read it out. Alasyam hi manushyanam sharirastho mahan ripuhu नास्त्युद्यम समो बंधुः कृत्वा यम नावसीदति. Let's see the words with sandhihi or sanyogah from the given verse. I'll mark the words with sandhihi or sanyogah. Sharirastho mahan, nastyudyama samo bandhuhu, and navasidati. All the three are the examples of sandhihi. Now let's see the dissolution of these words. Sharirastho mahan, the dissolution is Sharirastha plus mahan. Nastyudyama samo bandhuhu, the dissolution is Na plus asti plus udyama samaha plus bandhuhu. Navasidati, the dissolution is Na plus avasidati. Now let's see the anvayaha of the verse. Here is the anvayaha. Alasyam hi manushyanam sharirasthah mahan ripuhu asti. उद्यम समः बंधुः न अस्ति यं कृत्वा मनुष्यः न अवसीदति. Now let's see the meanings of the words and the translation of the verse. Alasyam means laziness. He indeed, manushyanam sharirasthah, residing in human body or residing in the body of human beings. Mahan ripuhu, the greatest enemy. Nasti udyama samaha bandhuhu. Udyama samaha means like hard work. Bandhuhu means friend. Krutva yam, doing which. Na avasidati, doesn't become sad or can never be sad. The translation of the verse is, laziness that resides in the human body is the greatest enemy of a man, and there is no friend like hard work, doing which one can never be sad. It means the one who works hard never becomes sad or unhappy. I hope you have understood the translation. Students, it has always been told that laziness is the greatest enemy of human beings, and it is indeed true. The worst hurdle that anyone could have in his path of success is his own laziness. Interesting thing is, this enemy dwells within oneself. It dwells in our body, and it can easily destroy the person himself. A lazy person can never achieve anything in his life. On the contrary, a hardworking person can conquer anything in this world, because no job is too tedious for him. He can face or tackle any circumstances with the help of his hard work, enthusiasm, and zeal. And that's why he enjoys each and every work that he comes across. Nothing can make him sad or nothing can hold him back. And that's why the poet says that hard work is the best friend of human beings. Students, the poet has suggested to all of us that we should be active and hardworking and should not surrender ourselves to laziness. I hope you have understood the verse. Now let's see Visheshana Visheshya Padani from the given verse.
There is only one pair of Visheshan Visheshya Padam in the verse. The words Sharirasthaha and Mahan are the Visheshane of the Vishesham Ripuhu. Now let's see the next verse.
Here is the next verse. I'll read it out. Guni gunam vetti na vetti nirguno bali balam vetti na vetti nirbalah piko vasantasya gunam na vayasah karicha simhasya balam na mushakah. Let's see the words with sandhihi or sanyogah from the given verse.
Here are the words with sandhihi. Nirguno bali and piko vasantasya. Let's see the dissolution of these words. Nirguno bali, the dissolution is nirgunaha plus bali. And piko vasantasya, the dissolution is pikaha plus vasantasya. Let's see the anvayaha of the verse. Here is the anvayaha. Guni gunam vetti, nirgunaha gunam na vetti, bali balam vetti, nirbalaha balam na vetti, vasantasya gunam pikaha vetti, vayasaha na vetti, simhasya balam kari vetti, mushakaha na. Now let's see the meanings of the words and the translation of the verse. Guni means a virtuous person. Gunam, virtue. Vetti means knows or recognizes. Na vetti nirgunaha. Nirgunaha, a virtueless person or a person without any good qualities. Na vetti, doesn't know. The meaning of the first line is, a virtuous person knows or recognizes the virtue of others, not a virtueless person. Bali balam vetti na vetti nirbalaha. Bali means a strong person. Balam, strength. Vetti, knows. Na vetti nirbalaha. Nirbalaha, a weak person. The meaning of the second line is, a strong person knows the strength of others, not the weak. Piko vasantasya gunam na vayasaha. Pikaha means a cuckoo. Vasantasya gunam, the importance of the spring season. Na vayasaha, not a crow. A cuckoo knows the importance of the spring season, not a crow. Kari cha simhasya balam na mushakaha. Kari means an elephant. Simhasya balam, the strength of a lion. Na mushakaha, not a mouse. And an elephant knows the strength of a lion, not a mouse. The translation of the verse is, a virtuous person knows or recognizes the virtue of others, not a virtueless person. A strong person knows the strength of others, not the weak. A cuckoo knows the importance of the spring season, not a crow. and an elephant knows the strength of a lion, not a mouse. I hope you have understood the translation.
In this verse, the poet has expressed his thoughts about a virtuous person and a mighty person. According to the poet, only a virtuous person can understand and appreciate the good qualities of others. To explain this, the poet has given the example of the cuckoo. The spring season is beautiful, no doubt, but a bird like a crow cannot understand or notice the beauty of the season. Only the bird like cuckoo responds to the beauty of the spring season by producing sweet and pleasant notes which adds to the beauty of the season. In the same way, only a strong person can understand or recognize the strength of other person. To explain this, the poet has given the example of an elephant. According to the poet, only an elephant can understand or recognize the strength of a lion. A mouse can never imagine how strong a lion is. In simple words, the poet is trying to say that we can appreciate the good qualities of others when we ourselves have a little bit of them in our personality. I hope you have understood the verse. Let's see the next verse. Here is the verse number 3. I'll read it out. Nimittamudishya hiyah prakupyati dhruvam satasyaapagame prasidati akaranadveshi manastu yasya vai katham janastam paritoshayishyati. Let's see the words with Sandhihi or Sanyogah from the given verse.
Nimittamudishya tasyapagame manastu and janastam. Let's see the dissolution of these words. Nimittamudishya is the example of Sanyogah and the dissolution is Nimittam plus Uddishya. Tasyapagame. The dissolution is Tasya plus Apagame. Manastu. The dissolution is Manah plus Tu. And Janastam. The dissolution is Janah plus Tam. Let's see the Anvayaha of the verse. Here is the Anvayaha. यह निमित्तम उद्दिश्य प्रकुप्यति सह तस्य निमित्तस्य अपगमे ध्रुवं प्रसीदति यस्य मनः अकारणद्वेषी अस्ति जनः तं कथं परितोषयिष्यति. Now let's see the meanings of the words and the translation of the verse. Nimittam means reason. Nimittamuddishya, over a reason. He, indeed. Yaha prakupyati, the one who gets angry. The one who gets angry over a reason. Dhruvam satasyapagame prasidati. Dhruvam means surely or certainly. Tasya apagame, when it ceases or no longer exists. Prasidati, appeases or gets pleased. He certainly appeases or gets pleased when the reason no longer exists. Akaranadveshi manastu yasya vai. Akaranadveshi manah means mind which holds or harbors enmity without any reason. Yasya, whose. Katham janastam paritoshayishyati. Katham, how. Janah, a man. Tam, him. Paritoshayishyati, satisfy or please. The meaning of the last two lines is But how can a man please him whose mind holds or harbors enmity without any reason? The translation of the verse is: the one who gets angry over a reason certainly appeases or gets pleased when the reason no longer exists. But how can a man please him whose mind harbors enmity without any reason?
When good people or noble people get angry with someone, there is a specific reason or cause behind it. Once that cause is removed, they again become pleased. Good people never hold grudges against anyone. But a mean-minded person is always displeased. He harbors enmity without any cause, or he hates someone without any reason. And when someone is indulged in such a meaningless hatred, then he can never be appeased or pleased by anyone, is what suggested by the verse. I hope you have understood the verse. Let's see Visheshan Vishesha Padani from the given verse.
There is only one pair of Visheshan Vishesha Padam in the verse. The word Akaran Dveshi is the Visheshanam of the Vishesham Manaha. I hope you have understood it. Now let's see the next verse.
Here is the next verse. I'll read it out. Udiritorthaha pashunapi gruhyate hayascha nagascha vahanti bodhitaha anuktamapyuhati pandito janaha parengita jnana falahi buddhayah. Let's see the words with sandhihi and sanyogah from the given verse.
Here are the words with sandhihi and sanyogah. Udiritorthah pashunapi hayascha nagascha anuktamapyuhati pandito janah and parengita jnana falahi. Let's see the dissolution of these words. Udiritorthah, the dissolution is udiritah plus arthah. Pashunapi, the dissolution is pashuna plus api. Hayascha, the dissolution is hayaha plus cha. Nagascha, the dissolution is nagaha plus cha. Anuktamapyuhati, here anuktam plus api is the example of sanyogah and api plus uhati is the example of sandhihi. Pandito janah, the dissolution is panditah plus janah, and parengita jnana falahi, the dissolution is parengita jnana falaha plus hi. Let's see the anvayah of the verse. Here is the anvayah. Pashuna api udiritah arthah gruhyate. Hayaha nagaha cha bodhitaha bharam vahanti. Panditah janah anuktam api uhati. Buddhayah parengita jnana falaha hi bhavanti. Now let's see the meanings of the words and the translation of the verse. Udiritah means told. Pashunapi, even by a beast or an animal. Gruhyate is understood. If a thing is told clearly, even a beast or an animal can understand it. Hayascha nagascha vahanti bodhitaha. Hayaha means horses and Nagaha means elephants. Vahanti means follow or carry. Bodhitaha, when instructions are given to them. The meaning of the second line is, even horses and elephants follow the instructions given to them. It means they carry the load when ordered. Anuktamapyuhati pandito janaha. Anuktam means that which is unsaid or not expressed in words. Panditah janaha, an intelligent man. An intelligent man, uhati, understands that which is unsaid or which is not expressed in words. Parengita jnana falahi buddhayah. Parengita jnana falaha means that which enables one to understand indications or gestures made by others. He, indeed. Buddhayah, intelligence. Intelligence indeed enables one to understand gestures made by others. The translation of the verse is, if a thing is told clearly, even a beast or an animal can understand it. Even horses and elephants follow the instructions given to them. An intelligent man understands that which is unsaid or which is not expressed in words. Intelligence indeed enables one to understand indications of others or gestures made by others. I hope you have understood the translation.
Students, we human beings consider ourselves to be superior to other animals because we have intelligence. And one of the signs of true intelligence is to understand that which is not said or expressed in words. It means we should be able to grasp what the other person is trying to say without being said by him. If told clearly, even the animals like horses or elephants can execute orders. If instructions are given to them, even horses or elephants can carry the load. But we are human beings, we are superior to them. He will be called a wise or intelligent person who can understand the thoughts of others without being said by them. Wise people or intelligent people can easily comprehend the thoughts or the intent of others just by the gestures made by them or their indications. And they are able to do this because they have intelligence. This is expressed by the poet with the words Parengita jnana falahi buddhayah. I hope you have understood the verse. Let's see Visheshana Vishesha Padani from the given verse.
Here are the Visheshan Vishesha Padani. The word Udiritah is the Visheshanam of the word Arthaha. The word Bodhitaha is the Visheshanam of the both Hayaha and Nagaha. The word Panditah is the Visheshanam of the word Janaha. And Parengita Jnana Falaha is the Visheshanam of the Vishesham Buddhayah. Now let's see the next verse.
Here is the verse number 5 and I'll read it out. Krodho hi shatruhu prathamo naranam dehasthito deha vinashanaya yatha sthitah kashtagato hi vannihi sa eva vannir dahate shariram. I hope you have understood the pronunciation of words. Now let's see the words with sandhihi from the verse.
Krodho hi prathamo naranam dehasthito deha vinashanaya kashtagato hi sa eva and Vannhirdahate. Let's see the dissolution of these words. Krodho hi, the dissolution is Krodhah plus hi. Prathamo naranam, the dissolution is Prathamah plus naranam. Dehasthito deha vinashanaya, the dissolution is Dehasthitah plus deha vinashanaya. Kashtagato hi, the dissolution is Kashthagatah plus hi. Sa eva, the dissolution is Sah plus eva. And Vannhirdahate, the dissolution is Vannhihi plus dahate. Let's see the Anvayaha of the verse. Here is the Anvayaha. Naranam deha vinashanaya prathamah shatruhu dehasthitah krodhah. यथा काष्ठगतः स्थितः वह्निः काष्ठम् एव दहते तथैव शरीरस्थः क्रोधः शरीरं दहते. Now let's see the meanings of the words and the translation of the verse. Krodhah means anger. He, indeed. Shatruhu, enemy. Prathamah means foremost or greatest. Naranam, of human beings, of mankind. Anger is indeed the foremost enemy of mankind. Dehasthitah deha vinashanaya. Dehasthitah, it resides in our body. Deha vinashanaya, to destroy it. यथा स्थितः काष्ठगतः हि वह्निः. यथा स्थितः काष्ठगतः. काष्ठगतः नाम hidden in wood. Vahnihi, fire. Just like fire which is hidden in wood, dahate, burns the wood itself. Sa eva vannhir dahate shariram. Similarly, sa eva vahnihi, the fire in the form of anger, dahate shariram, burns our body. The translation of the verse is, anger is indeed the foremost enemy of mankind. It resides in our body to destroy it. Just like fire which is hidden in wood burns the wood itself, similarly fire in the form of anger burns our body. I hope you have understood the translation.
Just like laziness, anger is considered to be the greatest enemy of mankind. Anger, which dwells in human body, has negative consequences on our physical and mental health. In Sanskrit it is said, Krodho moolam anarthanam. No doubt, anger destroys everything. Our relationships of life can be shattered in a moment due to anger. But when a person gets angry, the anger first destroys the person from within, and then it destroys others. And that's why the poet has compared anger with fire. Fire exists in wood. It is enkindled by, or it is produced from, a piece of wood. But the same fire ends up burning the piece of wood itself. It means fire burns its base, that is wood. In the same way, anger burns its base, that is our body. And that's why the poet is trying to suggest here that we should always exercise control over our anger. I hope you have understood the verse. Let's see Visheshan Visheshya Padani from the given verse.
Here are the Visheshan Visheshya Padani. The words Prathamaha and Dehasthitah are the Visheshane of the Visheshyam Shatruhu. and the word Kashtagatah is the Visheshanam of the word Vannihi.
So students, we have learnt the first 5 verses, and out of these 5, I have selected 2 verses on the basis of which I am going to ask you some questions. So get ready to solve the questions.
Here is the verse. Let's see the questions. Ekapadena uttarata manushyanam mahan shatruhu kaha. The next question is Kena samam bandhuhu na asti. Purnavakyena uttarata किं कृत्वा मनुष्यः न अवसीदति. The second question is आलस्य रूपी रिपुः कुत्र तिष्ठति. भाषिक कार्य क्वेश्चंस. शरीरस्थः रिपुः इत्यनयोः विशेषणपदं किम्. The second question is कृत्वा यं मनुष्यः न अवसीदति अत्र कर्तृपदं किम्. And the third question is उद्यमः इति पदस्य विपर्ययपदं किम्. Let's see the next verse. Here is the next verse. Let's see the questions based on it. एकपदेन उत्तरत जनः कम् उद्दिश्य प्रकुप्यति. The second question is असन्तुष्टस्य मनः कीदृशम्. पूर्णवाक्येन उत्तरत निमित्तस्य अपगमे कः प्रसीदति. The second question is कं परितोषयितुं न शक्यते. भाषिक कार्य क्वेश्चंस. प्रसीदति इति क्रियापदस्य कर्तृपदं किम्. The second one is अकारणद्वेषी इत्यस्य विशेषणस्य विशेषं किम्. And the third one is निश्चितम् इति पदस्य पर्यायपदं किम्.
I hope you have solved all the questions and are ready with your answers. So let me take you to the Uttarani.
Here are the answers. Ekapadena uttarata manushyanam mahan shatruhu kaha. And the answer is alasyam. Kena samam bandhuhu na asti. And the answer is udyamena. पूर्णवाक्येन उत्तरत किं कृत्वा मनुष्यः न अवसीदति. And the answer is उद्यमं कृत्वा मनुष्यः न अवसीदति. The second question is आलस्य रूपी रिपुः कुत्र तिष्ठति. And the answer is आलस्य रूपी रिपुः मनुष्याणां शरीरे तिष्ठति. भाषिक कार्य क्वेश्चंस. शरीरस्थः रिपुः इत्यनयोः विशेषणपदं किम्. And the answer is शरीरस्थः. कृत्वा यं मनुष्यः न अवसीदति अत्र कर्तृपदं किम्. And the कर्तृपदम् is मनुष्यः. उद्यमः इति पदस्य विपर्ययपदं किम्. And the answer is आलस्यम्. Let's see the answers to the questions based on the next verse. एकपदेन उत्तरत जनः कम् उद्दिश्य प्रकुप्यति. And the answer is निमित्तम्. असन्तुष्टस्य मनः कीदृशम्. And the answer is अकारणद्वेषी. पूर्णवाक्येन उत्तरत निमित्तस्य अपगमे कः प्रसीदति. And the answer is यः निमित्तम् उद्दिश्य प्रकुप्यति सः निमित्तस्य अपगमे प्रसीदति. The second question is, कं परितोषयितुं न शक्यते? And the answer is, यस्य मनुष्यस्य मनः अकारणद्वेषी अस्ति तं परितोषयितुं न शक्यते. भाषिककार्य क्वेश्चन्स. प्रसीदति इति क्रियापदस्य कर्तृपदं किम्? And the कर्तृपदम् is सः. अकारणद्वेषी इत्यस्य विशेषणस्य विशेषं किम्? And the विशेषम् is मनः. निश्चितम् इति पदस्य पर्यायपदं किम्? And the पर्यायपदम् is ध्रुवम्. I hope your answers are correct.
So students, I would like to conclude my presentation here. I hope you have understood the part discussed by us today. We will meet again with the next part. Dhanyavadaha. Punarmilamah.